It's probably the most high-profile routine physical in political history. The White House physician, Ronnie Jackson, spent a full hour, a little over it, I think, in the White House briefing room today, taking questions about President Trump's physical and mental state. It was a pretty remarkable series of exchanges. Here's part of it.
Do you believe he is fit for duty?
Absolutely, he's fit for duty.
What exactly does the exercise and eating plan look like? Is it you're going to put an elliptical machine next to the bedroom and he's going to use it? What does that look like? Is he limited to one scoop of ice cream now?
I don't limit his diet at all.
Some people have suggested that could be related to dentures. Does the president wear dentures?
He does not.
Did you address drug addiction?
Drug addiction?
I mean, any other drugs?
Yeah, no. He has no drug addiction. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Jackson.
How about sexual?
Explain to me how a guy who eats McDonald's and fried chicks and all those Diet Cokes and who never exercises is in as good a shape as you say he's in.
It's called genetics.
Well, does the elaborate theater over the president's health say much about the president or about the press? Fox senior political analyst Britt Hume joins us tonight. Britt, thanks for coming on. So if Trump runs again and I were in charge of his ads, which of course I won't be, but if I were, I wouldn't brag about the achievements or defend myself against the attacks. I would just run a tape of reporters asking, does he wear dentures? What's his life expectancy? What's his waist circumference? I think that would get him reelected.
Well, no, I don't know about that, Tucker, but he got a pretty clean bill of health, that's for sure. And remember, part of this is a function of the fact that he told Admiral Jackson, his doctor, who, by the way, was previously the doctor to President Obama and President George W. Bush, and enjoys a very, very high reputation. He told him to go out and not refuse any questions, to answer all questions. So, you know, the press saying this is open season is pretty soon into dentures and eating habits. And there was one exchange of questions about his waistline and all that. They apparently didn't measure his waistline because there was no reason to do it.
Well, he's not a tailor.
But it went to everything. And then, of course, probably most importantly, consider the current furor over his mental condition. The president had asked, although it wasn't clinically indicated, that this doctor give him a cognitive exam, and he gave him one, which concluded, because he got 30 questions out of 30 correct, that his cognitive faculties are very much in order, and that he's sharp and on it and coherent. Now, that's not a psychiatric exam, it should be noted, but it's a pretty good test of whether somebody's sort of mentally fit. And yes, he passed that with flying colors, and there was you could detect a certain skepticism and disappointment in the room about it. But the doctor was pretty emphatic, and I think, you know, to any fair-minded viewer, pretty convincing.
So I remember during the last presidential campaign when Hillary Clinton had some kind of collapse in New York, I think it was on the anniversary of 9/11, we were explicitly instructed by the Washington Post not to ask about her health. When did the rules change?
Well, I think we did it. I think we did end up asking about her health, but there was not a lot of information. I did, and there were not a lot of answers forthcoming. And, you know, to be perfectly fair about it, Tucker, I mean, one is entitled to have a confidential relationship with one's doctors about your mental condition. And the president just waived all that. No president that I've ever heard of has ever done anything like that. And, of course, we know if we go back far enough, you come across presidents like President Roosevelt, who concealed his paralysis to the greatest extent possible, so that, you know, most Americans didn't even know about it until after he was dead. And the press was complicit in that all the way through, because reporters who covered him and saw him every day knew it, but never reported it. So that's how much the atmosphere has changed. And, of course, you know, at this stage, it's open season. And I think the president obviously felt that if these questions were going to be raised, and he is in remarkably good health, owing apparently, as you heard, to good genes for a man of 71 who's, you know, 6'3" and 239 pounds, he wanted all of that out there. So he was partly responsible for this. But the thing went on for 56 minutes, which really is unprecedented.
It really was. I mean, it really was forensic. Unbelievable. Britt Hume, thank you. It was great to see you tonight.
You bet, Tucker. Thank you.
More on the show to come, plus Sean Hannity following the show. We'll be right back.